This is Martin Reese Sullivan, and I am going to introduce you to the Gallery 1 and Ceiling Center quilt hanging system I have designed for the museum. This is a manually operated system that functions very much like window blinds. Pulling the control cords down and to the right raises the quilts. Pulling to the left releases them. It is capable of hanging as many as 4 quilts, 2 on each side, back to back. It can also hang a single or pair of quilts facing in one direction. The configuration of quilts shown in this video is just one of the variations possible. The lifting mechanism will fit between the corbels in Gallery 1. Keep in mind that the mechanisms up at the ceiling height can be draped with fabric or covered by woodwork to match the corbels, and that all the cording can be white. Now let's get started. The first step is to put the telescoping bars into each quilt to be hung. It is important with this system to locate where the cords are to connect to the quilt so that the cords remain vertical and so that all of the quilts are centered side to side. To do this, we measure the width of the quilt, then locate the center. From the center, we measure to one side 21 inches and place a removable marker. We then measure across the other way 42 inches and place another marker. It is behind these markers that we will place the quilt supporting brackets. Once this is done for all the quilts, we are ready to hang. The first step is to level the support hooks. We do this by placing a bar with a magnetic level across the support hooks. Pulling on the individual draw cords adjusts the hooks relative to each other. The next step is to level the quilt support brackets for each side. This is done by placing the bar and level on the brackets, then adjusting them with the cord locks, just as in the show systems. This also sets the distance from the support hooks to the brackets. We are then ready to hang the first quilt. After setting the quilt on the brackets, we then lift the quilt to a height that is convenient to set the second quilt. It is important to get the height of the second quilt right so that the bottoms of the front and back quilts are even. So having previously measured the height of each quilt, I now measure the necessary distance. I also level the 2 brackets using the level and bar. We now hang the second quilt. We raise the second and first quilts up to a height to hang the third quilt, so it's convenient. For the third quilt, we have only to hang the quilt and make sure that it is parallel to the quilt above it. The cord locks are used for this purpose. Now by pulling on the draw cords I can lift the entire quilt assembly. The draw cords can be pulled independently to change the level of the entire quilt assembly. Once the quilts are as desired, the draw cords are looped and hidden away on a hook that is behind and between the quilts. To bring the quilts down, simply grab the control cords from between the quilts and flick them so that from top to bottom they are out in front of the quilts. Then pull the cords to the left, and with a light tug the quilts are released to be lowered. Pulling the cord to the right engages the locking mechanism. Bring each quilt down to a convenient height to be removed. After all the quilts are down, the bracket cords can be taken off the hooks. The hooks can then be pulled up and out of the way, and the control cords pulled over to a tie-off cleat on the wall.